Guys, you see that? You see that? What? We hit 1K! We hit 1K!
You hit 1K because of my video, dumbass.
Okay, well, Peter Parker isn't doing that bad himself, you know, okay? Just saying.
Just saying.
Go back to your corner, Bakugou. Just, I'm gonna go talk to Kaminari. Okay? Goodbye. The fan fiction is linked in the description below, so make sure to go check it out and support the author because we love authors in this community! Let's get into the video! So, when your mom found out, she was furious. That night, you had attempted sneaking into your house, since it was pretty late after you had finally gone around to buying everyone's coffee. Well, that plan failed horribly. Your mom is an underground pro hero, so she is probably the most stealthy in the house. It didn't help that your alibi was ruined as well. Flashback to last night! You crept into the house through the back door, quietly stepping towards your room. You thought you were the perfect ninja. I mean, come on. Your mom has been training you for ages. Clearly, you must be great. You froze as a lamp switched on and your mom turned around dramatically in a swivel chair. Well, never mind that last thought.
Where do you think you're going?
She growled. To bed? You carefully placed the cereal on the floor and put your hands up. Why were you so late? You didn't have clubs today and Adam came home before you. I was at the arcade. You prayed that was enough. All day? She rose an eyebrow.
Nope, didn't work.
For most of it. You looked away. Then what took you so long getting home? The train just shut down because there was this raccoon, and it was hungry, so it started chewing on the seats. But no one wanted to stop it because nature is beautiful. So they closed while they called a professional who promised not to hurt the strange creature. And so we all waited. But then I remembered, hey, you guys needed coffee and cereal. And I had some time to kill, so obviously I had to get cereal. So I walked to the store and got some. But it still wasn't fixed because these trash pandas are as smart as the ones from Guardians of the Galaxy. And I didn't want it to attack me. So I thought, hey, it's a nice night and I might as well enjoy it. So I walked home, but on the way, there was a whole gaze of raccoons who wanted to gang up on me for food. So I ran away and they chased me. But I was smarter and ran faster, and they finally gave up and decided to chase something else. So I finally got home. Yep, you rambled out. I suck at lying, especially to her.
Wanna try again?
A new voice spoke up. You turned to the other chair to see your Uncle Yagi had also done the dramatic spin, though he almost fell out of his chair. He sat with his tiny little skeleton arms crossed as he glared at you. As you stuttered in shock, he raised an eyebrow as well. You tried to come up with an excuse.
I know you knew those boys, and I know you used your quirk. You were lucky you didn't die.
He glared at you.
You shouldn't have interfered with that villain.
She could have died? Your mother shrieked as she glared at Uncle Yagi. Why didn't you act sooner? He paled slightly.
I was out of time.
That's no excuse. She's your niece. At this point, your mom was smacking Uncle Yagi with one of her slippers. As they argued, you tried stepping backwards for the stairs to get to your room. You got all the way to the stairs when your other uncle, Uncle Crow, stumbled down them. He looked half asleep and his hair was a mess. Uncle Crow looked around with half-opened eyes in confusion. Spotting you, he waved you over and leaned down to talk.
Why are they yelling after midnight?
He sounded like he wanted to cry. There was a villain attack that I may or may not have jumped into to stop. And now Mom is yelling at Uncle Yagi for being too late, you whispered. I just want to go to bed.
I'll handle it.
He pushed you up the stairs a bit.
Go to bed. Tomorrow morning Raven is probably going to make you train since she will still be mad.
You nodded and cringed. Poor future you. Your mom is a beast sometimes in training. If you are lucky, you can get Todoroki to train with you instead.
And flashback.
Uncle Crow was wrong. Mom didn't wake you up to train at the crack of dawn like normal. She was nice about it today, instead letting your alarm go off. You moved around the room, making a mental list as you got ready. You decided to wear a pair of jean shorts with your favorite hoodie covering a black t-shirt. Gathering up your phone and ID and stuffed them into your usual workout bag. You spotted a pen on your desk and a small smirk crossed your face. I know at least one thing I am definitely better at than you. Sometimes you have to tease, instigate, your soulmate in order to get a reaction. And since he believes he'll be number one, it is almost too easy to challenge him. So far, you have 20 bets to get through, ranging from building snowman to eating the most pizza. You are a competitive person, not to his extent, but still. But you actually try to think of these challenges as reassurance that you will meet one day. Today, though, you know you will win this challenge. You think it is fair to say that you will be better at ice skating and gymnastics than he will, especially since your quirk is sort of dependent on your ability to smoothly carry momentum between glyphs. Feeling a pen draw across your skin, you look down to see. I would like to see you try! Wow. Writing in all caps is aggressive. But one response isn't enough for you. No, you could have died yesterday. You need the confirmation that your soulmate is being his normal self. No, this isn't just an excuse to bug your soulmate more, and you are totally not being super dramatic because you don't want to admit you want to meet them already. Ha! I bet I could beat you even if I give you a practice run. That should get a good response. Rolling down your sleeve, you rush downstairs to say hello to your oh-so-wonderful family. You simply moved around everyone into the kitchen to make coffee for your mom and Crow. And maybe some for you. While you waited for the water to boil in the machine, you looked back down at your arm and grinned. You know what? I'll beat you! When we meet, we are going to have a fight, and you better not hold back! It's a deal! Finally, the kid should calm down more. Crow looked exhausted beyond belief, barely managing to stay upright while he waits for your small coffee machine to finish his cup. See? This is why you use the kettle. That tiny coffee machine overworks itself and barely pours a cup out for you. Adam was also tired, yawning and trying to get Crow's attention. You could tell he wanted something from the kitchen but was too lazy to get it. You tried calling Crow's name, but he waved you both off and chugged his cup of coffee after the machine dinged. He put his cup back under and waited for more. I thought that was going to be the death of me. As much as I love working with him, I haven't slept in 8 days. He ruffled your hair playfully. I've got the caffeine patch! Each patch is equivalent to 12 cups of coffee. You can stay awake for days, with no side effects! Adam poked his face, grinning evilly. Now I want to watch Meet the Robinsons! Why are you like this? You yelled. Your mom immediately rushed down the stairs, her eyes wide and a grin on her face as she smelled coffee. She shoved her twin out of the way from his third cup and drank it all immediately. They are like animals when it comes to caffeine. The one thing scarier than a villain is your mom without coffee. All of you are insane, you muttered. You know you love us. You rolled your eyes and flicked Adam's forehead as hard as you could. Not enough to feel bad about ditching you today. Where do you think you're going? Your mom glared at you from over by the coffee machine. Training with Todoroki? You glanced at the coffee machine. And checking out new coffee makers. That thing won't last another week. Be back soon, Crow happily said, thinking of how nice a second machine would be. Little did he know, you are throwing that old piece of junk out immediately. That boy needs friends, Adam muttered, to which your mother elbowed him harshly. Letting out an annoyed sigh, you headed towards the door, putting on your running shoes and checking to see if everything is in your bag. Goodbye! You yelled out. You made your way to the train station, blasting Hip by Mamamoo to get into a hype mood. You tried to subtly dance along, very lightly moving your arms to the music. You really like dancing. It allows you to almost escape the world and can change the tone of any song. Unfortunately, your girl is a shy dancer. Sure, if you wore a mask, you could conquer the world. But for some reason, the idea of people recognizing you terrifies you. Which is a bit ironic since, you know, hero work requires the spotlight. Once you finally arrived at the gym, You waved to the front desk and headed to your locker. Todoroki and you come here often to train because they have rooms to handle quirks. And handle can mean many things. Sure, he can always train at home, but that's lonely. And his dad is horrible. Luckily, Endeavor doesn't completely hate your family, so you're allowed to train at Shoto. There you are! Hey! I was thinking after we train, we could totally go get lunch. You walked over to Shoto.
Sure.
Simple, to the point. That's Shoto for you! You both changed and headed to one room dedicated to handling temperature fluctuations and such. Perfect for Shoto's quirk. So I was thinking, what if you launched ice or fire at me and I have to dodge? You look over at his sour expression. Yeah.
You don't want to use your left side.
I get it. He simply nodded and looked at you like you were dumb for even suggesting it. How many times do I have to say it? It's your power! Sure, it's a similar quirk, but you are the one wielding it. He looked like he didn't believe you. You groaned. One day, someone is gonna kick your ass when you only use ice. Maybe then you'll listen.
Akamori-san, you know why I won't. I will never become like that monster.
I get it. You throw up your hands and surrender. Also, you know I hate him too. And with that, you both began to stretch. Piece of advice? Always stretch, no matter what you plan on doing. It helps a lot. You try to stretch when you wake up, but unfortunately, you are too lazy. Or late. Rarely anything else. And how many times do I have to remind you? It's Mika! You huffed. A ghost of a smile appeared on his face. Hey, every little bit counts.
Okay, Mika. Why don't we just try ice? We both know you can avoid it, so what about trying to catch it like before?
You grinned excitedly. Let's do it! You moved to the opposite sides of the room before readying our stances. You stood up with your right foot leading and your left foot pointed slightly to the side. Your arms were in front of you, hovering near your chest. Yeah, you know it's not perfect, but you can activate your quirk and dodge easier if your hands are already out. Since Shoto was planning on just chucking ice in your direction for target practice, his was more forward-facing with his right hand ready to throw. Little did he know, you're attacking back! The timer we set back to count down, usually go until one of you is tired, but since this is a semi-dangerous testing, you decide to set a timer for 5 minutes. This will also help us understand how much energy we use by doing certain moves within a set time frame.
3, 2, 1, begin.
The machine voice cracked out of your sad little purple speaker. In an instant, Shoto launched a medium-sized piece of ice in your direction from the ground up. You created a glyph to absorb it, trying to match the glyph to the size of the ice. Like before, the glyph was its normal white before turning a bright blue and absorbing the ice. You made the glyph disappear before summoning it again and aiming for the wall behind you. Once you noticed that the bright blue glyph actually shot out ice, you turned around and motioned for Shoto to throw some more with a wide grin. He sent more ice out. It was moving quicker this time, but he managed to keep the same size as the last chunk. You caught the ice as well. Glancing at the wall next to you, an idea popped into your head. Smirking, a line of white glyphs appeared on the wall next to you. You dashed over to the wall before jumping on and twisting around so your feet landed on the first glyph. Rushing forward, you concentrated on moving quickly while also using your peripherals to watch Shoto's movements. You saw he was beginning to aim at you again, so you leapt off the wall and created a blue glyph to absorb the ice he was throwing at you. Now you may be wondering, but author, wouldn't it be easier for the reader to just stay on the wall like Spider-Man? The answer is yes, it would be easier. Unfortunately, you still need to practice with using more than one type of glyph at a time, and you would rather not risk it with ice being shot in your direction. So, a surprise direct attack it is! After landing, you summoned a blue glyph and launched ice at Shoto. His eyes widened slightly before he dove to the side to avoid the giant spike of ice that grew once your attack hit the floor. You should really learn to control that part. A wave of dizziness hit you. This usually happened when you overdo it with your quirk, and trying to learn new things does that too.
It feels similar to someone who had been holding their breath and spinning at the same time. Not fun in any way. You groan slightly before shaking your head and deciding to power through.
Focus, Mika! You can do this! We still have 2 minutes left!
You told yourself. Shoto moved his right foot on the ground, seemingly trying to make the ground extra slippery.
Well, joke's on him! Now you don't have to use your...
Why is he standing like that?
Crap!
You dove to the side as best as you could as more ice headed your way. This time in a much larger amount at a high speed.
That sneaky boy knows I'm trapped!
You growled. An idea suddenly popped into your head. As quickly as you could, you rushed towards the back of the room, dodging any incoming ice from behind. Once you got within a couple feet of the back wall, you created a black glyph at a slight angle, perfect for launching you. Taking a deep breath, you jumped on and faced Shoto. Before throwing yourself forward, you summoned another black glyph. You placed it under him so that he couldn't run away. You should have been paying more attention. You should have seen the shock and desperate look in his eyes. As you got closer at a surprisingly fast rate, Shoto raised his left arm. The second you saw the fire, it was like something switched in you. Your glyph disappeared from under him, and all you could see was the red-hot flames. You could hear someone screaming. You could smell the wood and paint burning. You could hear sirens and chaos, the sounds of panic and confusion. Someone was crying in pain and fear, another in concern. Then everything went black. When you came to, the room had been de-iced and your head was resting on a rolled-up yoga mat. Shoto sat guiltily nearby, staring at his left hand. What happened? You groaned. I'm so sorry, he began. I didn't mean to use my left side. I panicked. I know you've told me what happens around fire. I get that. I didn't mean to. It's fine. You smiled softly and began to sit up slowly. It was my own fault for charging at you like that. I told your soulmate. He spoke up. Your head snapped to him. You what? You quickly looked at your arms in fear.
No, no, no! You will not be seen as weak to your soulmate! They don't need to know about this fear!
This is a friend of your soulmate. She is terrified of fire.
Is this some stupid joke?
No.
Why are you telling me then? Hey! Don't just disappear, idiot!
Todoroki had written a reply.
Great! Now your soulmate knew! It was supposed to be a quick thing, a fear that passed before you got into UA. But no! Shoto had to go and tell him! Awesome! Great! Just phenomenal! Nope.
It is not his fault. He was worried and thought your soulmate needed to know. You can't blame him. You are just more upset with yourself for passing out again. You let out a tired sigh. It's fine. I know you were worried. He still looked a bit guilty. It's okay, Shoto. I should have told him earlier anyways. I don't blame you at all. Why don't we call it a day? I don't want Raven to worry. You began to rub away the writing with some water and a towel as you spoke. Shoto nodded, his half-and-half hair covering his eyes. He kept his head bent. You could tell Shoto was still upset. Shoto always swore never to be like his father, yet here he was, his only friend on the ground. You could see him beating himself up over using his left side. His hands were clenched and his left arm was shaking slightly. By the time you got up, changed, and all around just calmed down, it was 5:30. You needed to catch the train home, but you still felt guilty over Shoto feeling guilty. Yes, it's confusing. I know I said we should hang out after, but I have to go. He nodded.
Goodbye, Mika.
Bye. You began to head home, already running through the list of excuses you could potentially use for why you looked like a mess. Then it really sunk in. Your soulmate knows now. I mean, not to the full extent, but he does know you have a fear of fire you can't seem to understand. Well, not really knows as much as been warned. What should you do? Should you pretend it never happened? It isn't uncommon for people to play pranks. All that really matters is what you would do if you got caught in that situation when that fear activates. If you get over it, you could push it aside. The problem is, You still can't seem to understand why you feel this way. Nervously, you glanced down at your arm and felt the stroke of a pen.
You have some explaining to do.
Oh, great. He doesn't have short-term memory. Fun.
How dare you tell him my secrets, Shoto? I'm sorry. I didn't mean to. I panicked. I don't care. Why you gotta spill my secrets? I trusted you. Man. Okay. I see. How about I tell... Who do you have a crush on? You're not gonna tell me? Fine. I won't tell them that you're scared of, spiders? You don't even know what my sphere is? Do you even listen to me? I hope you guys enjoyed this fan fiction. I definitely did. I'm really sad because the next part 3, is the last part that's been posted. So I don't know what to do. It's such a good fan fiction. I'm sad that there's only one more part. I know there's more to come. We just have to wait. I'm patient. I can be patient, like you all, waiting for me to upload a video. I hope you... Wait, I said that already, huh? I'm gonna say it again. I hope you enjoyed this video. I have to think of a question to leave in the comments. But yeah. Oh, and summer, I have one more week, and then it's summer for me, and then I can binge watch Dr. Stone, because I started it, and I'm like, oh my god, this is such a good anime. Definitely recommend. So you guys should definitely check it out, because Dr. Stone is, whoa, it's good. Also, I apologize if you could hear the washing machine in the back room. Background noise? I don't know. In the background. There we go. So yeah, I'm sorry if you could hear that. My mom needed to wash clothes and I needed to record this video, so I just went with it. Next time it would be better quality.